Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and in today's episode I'm going to be talking with you about how and when should you register your new business in the UK. Now this is a question which I got asked over on email, and yeah, I figured now would be a good time to actually talk about that and answer it, because I'm sure the person who emailed is not the only person with that question. So I'm just going to pull the email up over here whilst I wait for that to pop up. I do apologize, I'm much later than normal today. It's been one of those days. It's been a crazy day of recording, had a meeting, really cool things going on, and just meant that I've not been able to actually sit down and get either something recorded or actually get a live stream up and running. So yeah, here we are. Anyway, the email that I got was from a chap called Lawrence, and I'll read out the message. Dear Manc Entrepreneur, I've always wanted to start my own business, and now that I'm 16, I've decided to start my online clothing business this year. I've been off and got my company name and logo set, and I've got an idea of what I'm going to sell in preparation to start selling by midsummer. However, I'm not really sure if I should register my company with gov.uk and what this entails. If I would have to register my company, what's the best place to start, and what will I have to do? Any advice is greatly appreciated. So this is, firstly, Lawrence, thank you for the question. It's a question which I'm sure lots of people have, and it's one which is it's a great question, because the last thing that you want to do when you start dealing as an enterprise, as a company, is to get something like registering the business with the government wrong, because that can just lead to so many complications later on. So to answer the first question, when should you set up your company with the government, or let the government know that you've set up a company, or you are going to set up a company? My answer for that would be as soon as possible, as long as it relates to when you're actually going to start trading. So if you are building a website, putting some content together, putting things online, that's fine. You can do that in your own time without having to do anything official. If you plan within, say, 2 to 3 months of taking money or spending money, then you should really register as a business, as a company, straight away. Because the sooner that you get that out of the way, the sooner you have your company number and all the rest of it, it just makes everything move that little bit quicker. And of course, then so for example, if you were having to buy stock, putting that through a company's account will then go on to a company's expenses, and therefore not your own. It's a company liability, not your own. So when should you start up a company? When should you let the government know you're starting a company? As soon as a financial element starts to take place, or is imminently going to take place. So again, that could be either you taking money from customers and providing them with goods or service, or you having to invest money on behalf of the company, which will not have any money yet, but as a director, it gets quite complicated. But as a director, you would loan the company money, and it would be an expense through the company. So as far as when, as soon as you think there's going to be financial transactions taking place, do it before then. How is the next best question, because some people just don't know how to get started. Well, the good news is that the government has a fantastic website. Back when I went through this about 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, I was like you. I had no idea what I was doing. Nobody ever teaches you how to set up a company with HMRC if you're in the UK. Luckily, HMRC have done a fantastic job of bringing a large part of this online, which means it's fantastically easy to do, and the steps are really straightforward. They just number them like, one, do this, do that, register a company, go and talk to company's house and let them know that you're registering a company. So what I've done is, down below, I've included 3 links in the description, which are all government websites, but they explain everything that you need to know. So I'm going to assume if you're starting up a clothing business or something along the lines, an online business, you're going to want to be a company, not a sole trader, not a partnership, a company. And you can be the sole director, the sole shareholder. That's absolutely fine. But doing that just means that there is limited, a private limited company means that you have limited liability, and is a way that most people would go. So heading over to the government website, like I said, they've done a fantastic job of making this so online now that you can basically do the majority of it from your home on your computer. So firstly, setting up a company, like I said, means it's legally separate from you as a person. It has separate finances to you as a person, and you get to keep any profits after tax, which of course will be corporation tax, as it is a corporate entity. Now, the problem is with this sort of stuff, I know the language and the terminology can get really sort of nerdy, really scary sounding. It isn't. They overcomplicate some of the things with some of the wording that they use. But don't worry about it. It is largely very simple. Listen, if I could do it, then anybody can do it. So, yeah, literally, if you're wanting to start a business, head over to the links in the description right now. And even if you don't want to physically get started right now, have a read. There's loads of great information. In fact, one of the best ones that I've seen is www.greatbusiness.gov.uk. And again, link is down below. But it basically gives you the steps that you take to set up and register a new business. So an overview of the regulations and requirements of setting up a new business. There's not that many. Choosing a legal structure, again, sounds scary. It really isn't. Registering with Companies House, everybody has to do that. Again, super easy to do. They just need your name and details and a few little bits of information about what the company will do. Registering with HMRC, that is a crucial one. HMRC is basically the revenue company, and that's who you pay your taxes to. So as soon as, that's why I said it's very important, as soon as you start dealing with the financials, taking money, spending money, the government's going to want to know. And if you try and hide it from them, if you try and, you know, set up later than when you actually have started taking money, and they find out, which they can because everything's audited and all the books, you know, everything has a paper trail these days, especially online, you could be into a bit of bother. You know, you can start getting fined and start getting much bigger bills than what you were prepared for. So don't try and be clever by not declaring tax and not, you know, registering with HMRC. Just do everything by the book, as you should, and you'll be fine. They have a checklist of everything you'll need to start a business, which is super handy, so, you know, national insurance numbers and things like that. The actual setting up and running of a private limited company, it's nothing scary. The wording may seem scary, it's largely not scary. The one piece of advice I would say is that as soon as you go and get registered as a company, you let Companies House know what, you know, do a check, make sure you know what your name is going to be, make sure it's not already taken. And all the rest of it, let HMRC know, you know, register as a private company, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as you start taking money, seriously look at hiring a good accountant. A good accountant is key. Funnily enough, I was only speaking with my accountants today, and whilst I had to break the bad news of my tax bill to me, I genuinely know that they do a fantastic job, and they advise me on the best things to do, the most cost-effective things to do as a business, because sometimes the things that you would want to do normally, that's not the best way to do them. As a company, as a person, yeah, absolutely, but as a company, there's different ways of doing things. So having a good accountant is key, I would say, in business, especially as soon as you start making money and accounts start rolling in. So yeah, check out the links below. When you should start hiring, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I think it's super, I want to make the point super clear. As soon as you think that your business is going to start trading, whether that be you spending money as a business or you making money as a business, you need to start registering that business. Make sure you register the company name with Companies House, let HMRC know. Check out the links below. The government website is fantastic. And And you might not believe me, it genuinely is. It was okay when I first got started. It's just got even better. They've made so much more information is now available online. And they have contact numbers. If anything you're not sure about, you can ring them, email them. They've made it super simple. So, Lawrence, I hope that has answered your question. For anyone else who's interested in when and how to start up a business here in the UK, I hope this has helped. Again, check out the links down below. The government websites make this super simple for you. It's nothing to be scared of. And you will come across terms like, let me find one, memorandum and articles of association. They sound scary. They're not. They're genuinely not. In fact, they have templates and everything that you can use. It's just one of those little legal things that you have to do. So with that said, I genuinely hope this has helped. If you've enjoyed this video or found it useful, hit that like button and share it with someone who you think might actually benefit from hearing about this and learning how to set up a business. Let them know it's not as scary as you may think. If you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm more than happy to help out in any way I can. And with that said, I know it's late today. This is now currently 5:30. This is the latest I've ever done a YouTube video. But enjoy what's left of your day, of your evening, and I'll catch you, as always, in tomorrow's video. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. See you tomorrow.